Jessica with Braitman Studio. We're here with Chief Joe's, and I'm going to be demoing some products for you guys. The first thing we have, I think we should go over our tools and the things we'll be using. This is a hot plate. It's very hot. You can feel the temperature from right about here. It's probably at about maybe 300 or so degrees. Other things we will be using are the Catalyst products. These are rubber tools, and they range from wide ones like this to handheld ones like this. So we'll be playing with things like that. In addition to that, we have these great tools here and other products by R&F, Handmade Paints. They're all oil wax-based, so we'll be playing with that. And so to start, I'll just be making a little demo of a pattern here so you guys can check it out. As you can see, immediately when I hit this surface, the wax begins to melt. And so it's great. I can sort of pick it up easily and begin to hit a different area. And something similar will happen. These wide ones are really great because you can play with different spans, so you can get some really wide strokes as well as some particularly thin ones. I think what's really neat about something like this is how you can get the build of wax in the same way that you would in oil painting. So right now I'm just playing with some cool colors on the palette. Another thing to kind of be a little bit cautious of is in the same way when you're working with a brush tool in oil painting, it's nice to kind of clean your brush off after time, and some of these waxes, when they mix with other kinds, will kind of change the color. So you just want to be a little bit weary of that. If it's something that you're going for, then by all means, continue. I think the areas that are really cool are where you can kind of bleed on the hot plate directly, get some kind of beautiful effects going on. You are always aware of how hot this plate is. It's great to play with different strokes, different lines that you can make, how you can build colors up. Get something darker down here. Ooh, that violet is beautiful. Printmaking is cool. It's one of my favorite medias to play with. It's one of the most ancient processes ever. There's so many things you can do with it. I love when the wax starts to kind of coagulate and the colors blend to form new colors and make new things. I think that's probably the most interesting part. And again, the same way you would build an oil painting, you can play with these, coming on top and behind, playing with pattern. I love how they really glide on each other. It's so smooth. And again, so you've kind of built up a surface, and now we can play with some of these tools that we have, like the catalyst rubber tools, and kind of take away areas or build on top of them. So play with some of the cool lines that you can make on top of a surface. Our handy dandy rubber tip tool. Alluding to a landscape somewhat in this work. Find a way to kind of incorporate the colors a little bit more together. I really like something like this where you're playing with what exists and kind of building it on to make it into something new. It's pretty cool. The longer that you leave the media on the hot plate, the more of the surface you'll be able to adjust. So if I leave it on for a long time, like how I just did, I'm able to be able to play with more pigment, which is pretty neat. Cool. Maybe a little bit more of a highlight over here. Yeah, got something pretty to look at. Okay, so after we've got our hot plate exactly how we like it, we can make a print. And it's very simple to do this. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do in any type of printmaking is to think about registration. That is where you line up the edge of whatever it is you're printing to the edge of the paper, how you'd like it to be registered on the piece of paper that you're using. You always wanna have clean hands, so try to wipe off any any additional oil product that you might have or wax product that you might have on your hands. And then what we're working with here is the Stonehenge printmaking paper, and it's very great paper. You can tell by the embossment on the edges of the paper. That's usually a great sign of paper. Right now, I think the way that the encaustic has dried a bit is kind of nice, so I'm gonna make a print directly now. How I'm usually gonna think about that registration, setting it up exactly how I'd like it to. Just be careful because it's hot. Place my paper on, great. Then I'm going to use a tool like this, which is great. We use these in all printmaking process. Unless you have a printing press, this is a tool that you'll need. Kind of just lightly press our area. It's always good to use circular motions when you're doing something like this to make sure that you cover your whole area. And then, after we think we've gotten everything, it's cool because you can already start to see it emerge, and I love the organic shapes that it makes through the paper. Another good sign to good paper. All right. And, ooh, it's cool. It's a little thick, and we could always bring it down, but I think it's a great print. There's lots of cool colors in there, lots of neat textures, things that you could play with. You could even build on top of this if you'd wanted to. Another neat thing about printmaking is if you're not done, you can make another print with what exists. So with what's already on the hot plate now, I can kind of play a bit more. If we like it too much, we use it. Add a pop of red. See what happens if we make another Stonehenge printing paper. Again, we're going to be thinking about registration. Another tool that people use to do something like this is a brayer, which is a rolling tool, and it's kind of nice. Looks similar to what you'd use in a kitchen. And after we think we've covered all of our surface area, you can come back. Ooh, that's awesome. And I think some of the remaining wax that we left over from the time before creates that cool pickup pattern that's really neat. And you can only get something like that from doing it a second time. So it's great to take advantage of more than one round of your printing.